What's going on? So let me start this video by saying I'm sorry, it has been way too long since my last video, I know, and I'm going to use the same old excuse I always use, I'm busy. I've always been busy, I will always be busy, but I've got some free time, so I decided to make a video. Not too exciting, maybe a bit exciting, it's a little bit exciting for me. I'm going to be stripping down this. So this is the Renault 5 GT Turbo engine that is out of, if you go back through some of my older videos, or for people who've been subscribed for ages, you remember I bought an old Renault 5. It sat in a field for like 10 years, maybe a bit longer, something like that. Had no bonnet on it, so it's out in all elements. And this is the engine out of it. It's a bit tight. It turns over, it locks up, so I feel it might have a bit of rot at the top of the bores or a stuck valve or something like that. It needs a rebuild. I need to pull it apart to see what I need to do to it, because obviously it's sat out in the elements for ages. I just want to get it in bits, see how bad it is, see if it's even savable. It's been sat on this engine stand in the corner of this workshop for like months and months and months now, and I've just been gagging to get it apart. Finally found myself a free hour, so tonight is the night. I'm not going to bore the heck out of you, obviously, and just show you every little bit that I'm going to unbolt. But just to give you a rough idea, I'm going to strip all the auxiliaries off, like the alternator. That's solid anyway, so that's probably going to end up in the bin. I'm going to take the water pump off, the exhaust manifold off, the turbo. The turbo is still quite free, but obviously I will send it off anyway, have that rebuilt. But yeah, oh yeah, this engine is obviously destined for egg gasket, my little Renault van. Obviously that was going to happen, so yeah, let's tear it down. My ideal plan tonight is to get the head off, because I want to see what the insides look like. So yeah, let's crack on. Feels good to be back, Right, so I've got a box I can chuck all my bits in, HT leads, obviously. This is what I mean about it being a bit tight. It sort of feels like it's got compression and then goes solid. So it's hitting something. So yeah, let's get it apart. So, got the water pump off, got the alternator off, unbolted the oil feed to the turbo, the drain for the turbo. Thought while I'm here, I'll take the oil, drain the oil out the sump. Oh, it's too tight, look. That ratchet's excessive. That one. You can always get a rough idea of what to expect or how bad the inside of your engine's going to be by judging the state of your oil. Right, this is 10-year-old oil that sat open in a field. We ready? Oh, look at it. It's all congealed in there. Oh man, that is not a great sign. Ignore my muttly laugh there. Get back in there. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have a little poke around. That'll do. Oh, here it comes. Look at that. Can't really see it, but don't look promising. Oh, it's just all mush, look. I got a feeling this engine's going to be worse than I expected. Right, I'll leave that draining, if that's what you want to call it. Oh boy. Just as I put the camera down, shit, it had a spurt. And there you can see, it's very creamy. It is not a great sign, but at least there was something in it. Right, let's crack on. So, I've got the turbo off and out of the way. Looking down the ports, not that you can see very well, it doesn't actually look too bad. There's not too much rot on any of the valves or anything like that, so hopefully there's life in this engine yet. The old treacle's still trickling out though. Right, let's get the rocker cover off. bit rusty under here. It's definitely had some dampness in here, if you know what I mean. I reckon I can pull these rockers apart and clean all that up though. I don't think that's too bad. I wonder if... I've had the plugs out of this already, by the way. I filled the bores with WD-40. Just wondering if I could turn the engine over, see if all the valves are moving or if it's got a stuck valve. Oh, the problem is I'm not going to be able to turn it over far enough to get them all to move. Yeah, that idea is not going to work. Alright, let's pull the rocker shaft off. See what happens. Stripped all the rockers off, taken all the push rods out. Annoyingly, I think it was me being a knob. I cracked the end of the rocker shaft tabley bit. So I have to source one of those. Not the end of the world. These rockers were like really stiff on the shaft as well. So now, I know it's not amazing, but obviously all the valves are shut, so the pistons are not going to hit the valves now. They've all come up. There's no plugs in it, so it won't have no compression, but the engine actually turns over now, so that has got to be a good sign. I'm going to take that as a little bit of a win anyway. So yeah, broke one bit but got lucky with another. Right, let's get the cylinder head off. I want to see inside. Or will it just lift? Oh! Da 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 da. Not bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Right, I'll show you the cylinder head first. Look, that ain't terrible. Alright, oh, it stands up. It's going to need cleaning up. It nearly stands up. It's going to need cleaning up. It's going to need a skim. Obviously, you're going to need to take all the valves out. Give them a good going over, but that looks alright. It's not too bad. Bore-wise, alright, we've had some damp in there. It's not the end of the world. Doesn't look too bad. They're not too lipped. I am obviously going to be putting a set of pistons and sleeves in this just because there's no point in reusing second-hand stuff like that. This is obviously a wet liner engine, so you don't have to have the block board. You just pull the liners out. You can get pistons and liners for like 300 quid. So I just ordered a set. So yeah, right. I'm quite happy with that. Do I carry on? Yeah, let's pull some more apart. Let's crack on. Oh, dipstick fell out. So I've upturned the engine and I've taken all the bolts out the sump, zapped all them out with an impact, and I'm just going to lift the sump off because I want to see, curious to see what it actually looks like inside. It was easier than I thought. Oh boy. Yeah, I knew I should have just gone home. Oh man. So, there's the inside of the sump. A little retro level sensor there. The all drain hole in the sump. Little breather pipe going back down there. Here's inside the engine. Let's stay at that crank. That is like chunks, and I mean like proper chunks of rot, man. Don't think I really want to reuse that crank. I might treat myself. Look at the sludge built up under them pistons as well, look. Obviously just won't come out the sump plug hole. I think I might take the pistons out. Oh, that is nasty. Oh well, still, it can be saved. Everything can be saved. Can that crank be saved? Maybe clean that? I don't know. Let's see. Let's get it out. In all fairness, right, when I bought this, I got told that this engine was a runner when it was parked in the corner of a field. taking that cap off, right? Okay, it's got some, you know, some staining marks and stuff like that. The shell actually doesn't look that bad, nor does the crank. So I'm feeling pretty hopeful, to be fair. Yeah, that looks good. Let's get the rest off, get the pistons out and see what happens. So, obviously, undone the rod bolts. When I pushed the piston down, because of the rot at the top of the bore, it got stuck. So I gave it a tap with a long punch, because obviously I'm renewing the pistons, but I want to keep the rods. So when I punched the, obviously I put the punch down past the rod onto the back of the piston and punched it out. And it punched the liner out, which kind of done me a favour, because the liners had to come out anyway. Looking at these pistons, there is a little bit of scoring around the top of the crowns and stuff like that. Obviously the rings are all seized on, so it would have never have run like this, which is fine. The liner come out, obviously it's absolutely rotten. The seal come out of it as well. I'm just praying that the seat in the bottom of the block is okay, because if that's all right, I know that I can use the block again. The head's good, the crank's questionable. I'm going to send that off and pray they can maybe clean it up, but it looks like it might even be a standard grind. I wonder if I can see any marks on the back of the shells. 511ZE, what does that mean? And there's some writing there, but I've got no idea what that means. I was hoping it'd say standard, not like good old Ford Zetec's. But yeah, so it's going all right. The rods are usable. Need to get some new rod bolts, obviously. Clean them all up. Yeah, happy-ish so far. Right, let's get the rest of the pistons out. Right, so obviously it was upturned, punched the remaining pistons out, and obviously all the sleeves as well. It looks freaking nasty in here, as you can see, because it's had loads of congealed crap where all the coolant sat for so many years. You can see all like the little levels and stuff. But I have brake cleaned off the seat, and obviously where the sleeves are still in it, underneath where the sleeves sit, it's actually really all right. I might just quickly roll this block outside. I can't bother to take the crank out yet, but I think that crank's toast anyway. But I'm going to roll this block outside. I'm going to quickly give it a good clean up, hit it with a jet wash, and I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like a bit cleaner. So I just sort of covered the block in like TFR and like a water washable engine degreaser. Just washed it all over, scrubbed it in with a brush, and then just hosed it off. Didn't even get the jet wash out in the end. And looks all right. It's okay. Okay, it's not spotless. This ain't ready for like assembly, obviously. But I just wanted to get all the big bits of gunk out and stuff. But the seats where the seals go for the bottom of the liners look okay. I'm probably just going to send this block away, get it decked, which means they just skim a very slight layer off the top, and then I'll get it acid dipped as well, which should get rid of most of this rot and crud. Obviously I still need to pull it apart more, but I just didn't want it sitting in the workshop like covered in oil and crap, because it would just drip on the floor continuously. So a quick just, you know, scrub with a hose for 5-10 minutes makes a world of difference. But yeah, right, let's crack on.